Loading Screen is brought to you by Mike and Ike.
Kid, good!
What goes on in your head?
There's a new NPC. There's just so many new things that I think it's gonna bring.
Hey, there's layers to this game that has people loving it.
Not now, Mom. I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Things are getting crazy. Loading screen.
Yeah.
Loading it up.
Listen up! Here we go, chat. What is up, chat? Welcome to Loading Screen. It's your boy Sir Scroux and Cub, looking clean. E3 is right around the corner. Everyone's starting to come into order. We got a ton of games to talk about. Halo Infinite makes me want to shout. How's this for a clip, social media? Come and watch our show. It's like a live encyclopedia. Jacob!
Oh! When I look at the games coming out, it makes me want to just start to scream and shout.
Oh.
When I look in the distance, all I see is a persistence. The games coming in E3, they're all will just make me. Because when I think about, I will shout.
E3 tastes like fire. I'll tell you what, that's pretty dire. You better watch out, call the fire department. Because me and Cubby, we gonna live in the moment. And we gonna announce the news to you like you've never heard before. But let me tell you this, you definitely won't snore. I don't like snoring, keeps me awake at night. Baby, why don't you come on over here and fly my kite? I don't know.
Bars!
Bars, baby! What is up, chat?
Bars.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Howdy, doodah. Jacob, talk
Hi,
to
Alex.
me, man. Talk to me,
How
man.
you doing
We
today,
got
bro?
some shit today, baby. Talk to me,
you got
baby.
some
Talk
shit
to me, baby.
Okay, hey, how's it going,
Hi,
guys?
what'd you play over the
Alex.
weekend,
How
man?
was your weekend?
My weekend was good, bro.
I played one more level of It Takes Two.
Do you...
Couldn't wait.
I'm sorry. Let me
No,
guess, you
wait.
played with Max.
I played with my brother Max.
Damn
Played
it.
with my brother Max.
Yo, we got to get rid of Max.
We gotta get rid of him.
We gotta-
You just gotta start playing it with me. We keep talking like, yeah, it's coming back, and then we see Chivalry's coming out. We see a bunch of other games coming out, and Alex is like, well, you know, those games are new. They might do well that day on the stream, Jacob. And I go, but Alex, please, I just want to play this with you. And he goes, yeah, I don't know.
Guys,
I don't
E3 is a fucking mood, chat. E3 is a mood. We've got a lot of news coming at you, hot and sweaty. My knees are weak, and my mom's spaghetti. Anyway, hi guys.
Yeah.
Episode 103. It is the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it do. Okay, Jacob, talk to me,
No wonder
brother.
we're getting into worse.
So you played It Takes Two. What did I even play over the weekend? I don't know. I actually think I separated myself. I played a little bit of Knockout City. Now that nobody plays Knockout City with me,
I'm playing with you today.
you're playing with me today. Hopefully Max doesn't come in and pull you away from me, Kappa. I can hear myself in your headphones because this is awesome. We
course
know
you
exactly
can.
what we're doing.
Why would I have a good headset?
Yeah, I know, right? Mom, get him a new headset. You're very pretty today.
Mom.
Okay, chat. First order of business, Jacob, let's go ahead. Guys, we're going to be diving into some E3 news and some announcements that came out over the course of the week. And Switch pre-orders. Do we have the down low on that? I don't know. You might have
We'll
to stay and
see.
find out. But
We'll
first order of business,
see.
Xbox games have been confirmed for... Let's change the song for this, shall we? Xbox games have been confirmed for E3 2021. These lists...
There's something. I'll tell you what. I think once you pull it up, I'll say some of the names, but there's a couple of these that the name alone has me curious. Like, let's look at Kung Fu Kickball. I'm gonna pull up a trailer for that real quick for you
Kung
guys
Fu
because
Kickball?
Kung Fu Kickball. Now, you know, with Knockout coming out, Alex, obviously
People are in
We're
the
looking at
mood
our
for
school
rubber
games,
balls.
I can't wait for the most intense like Foursquare game that we'll get. But I was taking a look at this trailer, and I realized like this video has 11 likes.
11 likes.
Yeah, this is I'm surprised that they're like, yep, this is the one, guys.
Wait, so 11 likes. Okay.
Kickball. Yeah, it's 28,000 likes. And only 3 comments. And one of the comments is me.
One of the comments is you? What did you say?
I said epic. I said epic.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, hold on. Give me a second. We're
you
going
don't want to go back to high school, fam?
We're going through a Twitch, a YouTube ad right now. Kung Fu Kickball. I'm curious about this. Now, guys, this list here, take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of times these lists are, they can change. Let's say
there's more that can also be added. This is just what's confirmed. There will still be surprises. But when I was looking at this, it was like Rivals of Aether with just a kickball.
It's like it's like a side-scrolling soccer.
Yeah, pretty much. When is the giant rainbow parachute simulator being released? I hope it's released soon.
What is this game?
Right? Like, it's just kind of crazy. So looking at a couple of the other titles while we watch this, Aeon Drive is coming. Not too much. I don't know a lot about that. Anno Mutationum.
All right, hold on. Let's just go through this list. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's okay. Far Cry 6. We'll probably see some of that. Death's Door. I know. Chernobylite. That looks good. Halo Infinite. You guys know they're going to start the show off with Halo Infinite. That is it.
Or they'll end with it. I could see them ending with it too.
Yeah, me too.
Super easy.
Life is Strange. We got Hello Neighbor 2. Marvel's Avengers. What are they going to do with that? I'm assuming all these games that are announced already are going to have DLCs. Moonglow Bay. Dude, I don't know half these games. Obviously, Six Siege. Resident Evil Village. Like, this can't be all that accurate. The DLC...
Yeah, let me see what this article is. Okay, this article is June 8th. It's just stuff that's confirmed again.
Okay. I guess stuff they're talking about? I don't know. Shadow Warrior 3, Starfield, that's what I want. I expect, guys, with Microsoft, expect a big thing coming from Microsoft and Bethesda. I'd imagine we're going to get some Bethesda games. Thursday, Jacob and I are going to be breaking down everything for E3. We're going to be giving our, what games we're looking forward to, building up the hype for E3, but we did get these 2 lists that came out. Not just, Jacob, on this list here, is there anything that, like, catches your eye?
Other than Kung Fu Kickball, like, obviously there's a couple. Unfortunately, like, the big one I'm looking forward to, it doesn't seem here. Like, Monster Hunter Stories 2, I'm curious what that really is. Hunter Rise coming to, if this actually comes to Xbox, I might pick it up even better than I did before.
Wait, where are you seeing? Are you on the Switch list now?
Yes, I am. I
Okay,
screwed up.
you should probably-
I'm sorry, everyone. It's been quite a month for
Well,
me.
let's move on to all Switch games. Okay, Eon Drive. Was Eon Drive on both of them? Yeah, Eon Drive was on both of them. Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
that's where I got screwed up.
All right.
So we have a bunch of cool ones here. The big ones that stand out to me, Alex, so far: Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
I got it on Switch a while back, and I was like, eh.
Oh, do you see this right here? Is this like a Life is Strange type of deal? Or a what do they call them? The Story Jones?
Like Telltale?
Yeah, Telltale.
kind of game?
Yeah.
I hope. That would be pretty cool. There's also the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which I love. Phoenix Wright, so anything lawyer-based, I'm down for.
Okay.
Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, that looked really cool. My Lovely Wife, I'm hoping that's a horror game. And other than that,
A horror game on the Switch, huh?
that's all that's confirmed. Like, I want Breath of the Wild too. That's what I really want. So while I'm glad that they told us these games, it seems like a lot of these are indie titles that don't have a predetermined audience yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to like look at a lot of these and be like, oh, this is the one I want to get, without really seeing it, which we will at E3.
And like I said, everybody, we're going to be diving into our predictions and everything for E3 on Thursday at 11 a.m. right here on Twitch and YouTube. But I don't know. I mean, Jacob, we've talked about how much success, like the year of indie, right? Or the last 2 years of indie. Like, I think we're going to get a lot of indie games especially with Microsoft just buying up studios left and right.
Oh,
we're going to get a lot of that. I don't know. I'm curious what we're going to see from Bethesda, because with them being basically in the same thing as Microsoft, we're obviously going to get a lot of Microsoft IPs. But I'm aside from Starfield, I wonder what we're going to see. You know, are we going to see more Elder Scrolls stuff now that there's more funding? Like, do you think Microsoft is paying for its own, like...
I'm sure they are to some extent, right?
Yeah.
But there definitely has to be, while they're working on this, there has to have been talks of, so, like, what's the next big title?
Yeah.
Are we going to tease it now? Or are we going to tease it later?
Yep.
Because this is the moment to tease it, if anything.
Right.
Even if they don't give a release date, which they should not.
Right.
They should not give a release date. Just get people hyped for it. That's all they got to do.
So... speaking of getting people hyped, I know people are very excited for Nintendo Switch and the Direct. Apparently that's on at 6/15, so June 15th. There's going to be a Nintendo Direct with roughly 40 minutes of info focused exclusively on Nintendo Switch software, mostly releasing in 2021. That's interesting. I mean, dude, 2021, it sounds crazy, but there aren't that many months left in 2021, so we're going to get... I think showered with games.
Speeding through. It's going so fast.
Yeah. Any thoughts on what Devolver Digital will do this year? So, guys, Ellie in chat says, any thoughts on what Devolver Digital will do this year? My bet is on forming a small country. And then promptly nuking it. Okay. I did have thoughts on Devolver Digital.
Well, they're making Phantom Abyss though, and that's like that's the game I showed you before, where it's like the Temple Run Battle Royale. Alex, I bring the joke. You do, Ellie. We'll see. I'm hoping that Phantom Abyss is going to be really solid, especially since it's early access.
Mm-hmm.
But Devolver Digital is they're trying a lot of new things, and we'll see just how well it pans off. But I'm always down for innovating. Obviously, there will get to a point when you're innovating for no reason. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But if it ain't broke, why not see if you can make it better? So Devolver Digital, I think at E3, they're probably just going to push Phantom Abyss even more than they already are, which I'm excited to see any new trailer that they make, because the game looks cool. It looks really fun. But as far as the Nintendo Direct comes, a lot of this is about software, Alex. And I don't know about you, but when I think of the Switch's problems right now, I think of hardware more than software. Like, we have a 720p console that can't even go to 4K docked.
And you know what sucks, Jacob? You know what stinks is it's going to be damn near impossible to get a Nintendo Switch. I'm going to tell you that right now, because it's damn near impossible 3 years later to get a Switch. Or at least last year, people were struggling to get a Switch.
It's just the Switch Lites everyone's getting lately.
Which
can't be docked.
Which can't be docked. And you know what? I really hope Nintendo doesn't do this. I don't think they will, because they're all about their money. But the worst thing that could happen is, like, I'm not going to get a Switch Pro, at least not right now, nor will I probably even be able to get it if I wanted it, right? Because of the semiconductor shortage. The last thing I want to see is like a Breath of the Wild 2 or Pokemon Arceus not being able to run on my current Switch hardware. That would stink.
That would drive me nuts.
That would stink.
No.
And Nintendo doesn't offer refunds.
Yeah. But
Let me
Target
turn
does.
my fan on. Target
Best Buy does. What's nuts though is, like, the more we look at the software, I've seen some rumors of people saying, hey, like, maybe this will be an update for the Switch Lite to finally be docked. But there's no way. That's not the point of the Switch Lite. The point of the Switch Lite is it's just on the go. You can't dock it.
Right.
Now, granted, that would be awesome. I really would. But I don't know. Like, chat, what do you want to see happen here? What are you expecting from this Nintendo Direct? I mean, it being focused so much about hardware is just... I can't figure out what they're trying to do, because they don't need a UI upgrade. They don't need a facelift. The UI looks beautiful.
No, I think the only thing they'll do is upgrade the hardware, like, to allow you to push out 4K. But, like, do you think that means it's going to be 1080p in handheld? I can't imagine that.
Ideally, that's what I'd like. I don't know why we wouldn't be able to get to that point with this new console.
Yeah, but think about that. If you're pushing 1080p, how much battery? I mean, they're obviously going to improve the battery. But I don't know, man.
Well, do you remember how thick the Wii U, like little tablet was?
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it being that size if it's going.
Well, the
to have a
bezel's getting
battery.
smaller. They did announce that.
Mhm.
But like I
Cool,
said,
but
I don't
really care at this point.
I'm not all that happy. I'm not all that hype. About the new Switch. However, because like I said, it's going to be one of those situations where like people were really excited about the PlayStation 5 and couldn't get one. You know, we just had a friend get one, what, 6 months after release, 8 months after release. The last thing I want is to like get excited for all these Switch games, and it's really weird. The last thing I want is to get excited for all these Switch games being announced at E3 and then not being able to play them on my current Switch, except when it's docked. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I mean, Red Squiddly saying in chat, it really comes down to like if we just get a better dock, which is the best solution.
Yeah.
Everything could work flawlessly, but
Yep.
it's probably not what Mr. Bowser, President Bowser, wants to happen.
I know.
Which is unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate.
Because the dock would solve a lot of the issues.
Yeah. But I will say one thing I am excited for, which is weird because I haven't been excited for a game like this in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But Battlefield. There's apparently going to be a release tomorrow. A reveal trailer tomorrow. This is what we got, chat. This is what we got, what, 2 days ago? Yesterday?
Oh my god, it's so goddamn cool!
First of all, I love their sound effects department. Dude,
Yeah, they're killer.
Their sound effects department.
This is a cool way to say, like, yo, June 9th, we got some revealing stuff.
Yeah,
do,
we
bro.
got some shit happening. And, like, dude,
You're
it's
sitting there like, wow!
it's all glowy and everything. Like,
It's well done.
I'm
It's
very
well
excited.
done.
I'm very excited for this.
So, do you remember a while back hearing that Battlefield might not have a campaign?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to Mitch, one of the writers, and he was on the show a couple times too, if anyone has seen him here. And he was working on an article earlier. It may have been somebody else in the team, but he was telling me that it's basically saying that FPSs don't really need a campaign. And then it was pointing at other genres that worked, like Valorant, for example. But honestly, dude, I kind of crave a campaign.
You know
with
what?
Most FPSs.
I think when games don't have campaigns, I actually that bothers me. I take offense to that. Because as somebody who always plays through campaigns, I like the campaign. I like a little story. I remember do you remember which Call of Duty was it that didn't have a campaign? Was it Black Ops 4?
There's no way it was a Black Ops. Let me look it up. Which Black Ops?
I think it was Black Ops 4.
How did you feel about Overwatch and Valorant not having a campaign?
See, it's really weird because Valorant took off with the intention to be full esports.
It was Black Ops 4, by the way. You were right.
Yeah, but like I don't think you should release a game. I know it costs money, but let's take money out of it. I think games should have campaigns. Valorant would be awesome. You can really lean into the lore there. You could, Overwatch should have campaign. Like I think every game should have a campaign, even if it's a few hours. Like with Halo. With Halo Infinite, the campaign's the best part of the game. Well, that's a fat fucking lie.
No.
But like one of the best parts about Halo is the campaign, and then obviously the multiplayer. But like, I think games should have a campaign.
I think that it helps a lot with telling the lore of the world and opening up. But the more I think about it, for instance, like with Valorant, instead of showing a campaign, they've switched more towards cinematics, kind of like what Overwatch did.
Yeah.
And it brings the idea of I don't mind sitting there and having them spoon feed me the world as opposed to playing through it. It's kind of just like flavoring the characters that I already play. Not to say I wouldn't love to play a campaign, but it just made me think about that for a bit without derailing too much.
No, yeah.
Regardless, Battlefield coming out, it's going to be big. I've been having a ton of friends playing the recent Battlefield just in hype for this.
Battlefield has always been, I think, ahead of the curve in terms of graphical fidelity. And like, I know people enjoy the destruction environments. But like, it's been a few years since the last one was released, Battlefield 5. This one, I just can't wait to see what DICE and EA do to this game with all the new technology. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Even if it's a game that I play every once in a while, I am so excited. And typically, I switch to Battlefield whenever there's a Call of Duty that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and Cold War did leave a bad taste in my mouth. So I think this is going to be one of those situations where I turn to Battlefield for like a year or two, and then I'll come back to Call of Duty until a Modern Warfare comes out. Give me Modern Warfare 2 again, or not again, but give me a new Modern Warfare sequel, and I'll be back on the Call of Duty train. I didn't really like Cold War all that much, but
I didn't either. Slacks, Overwatch did have a limited multiplayer campaign, but unfortunately, I did not get a chance to try it, which is very sad. But you know what's not sad?
a funny game here. Let's
Motherfucking Chivalry 2!
Chivalry 2!
Motherfucking Chivalry 2!
While we're battle crying, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into this trailer real quick. Here we go.
Dude, it is... Did you play Chivalry?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've never... it's just such a delight.
Kill the Arcathians! For every warrior, there comes a time when a moment will decide your fate.
Charge! This is gonna be so much fun,
It
dude.
is so derpy, bro.
It's everything Chivalry was and better.
Look how pretty it is.
Just running through people with the claymore, with the axe, and pushing them.
Oh!
Dude, I cannot wait to play the heck out of this game, not touch it for 2 months, and then come back and do the same thing all over again. I have never had an itch to play a game like I have with Chivalry. Out of the blue, I'll just be like, this is all I want to do. And I'll drop 20 hours and do it that week. Another victory!
For Agatha!
I'll tell you what right now. If we find a way to get a custom lobby, I would love to open a lobby up to everyone for loading screen.
Yep.
And one day we'll just all play Chivalry. That's all we'll do.
Did he just... Hold on.
Yeah,
Did I just see that right?
Yep, you saw that right.
Did he throw
You
somebody's
saw
head
that right.
at that guy?
Yeah. Pick up a head. Boom.
Toss the head.
Shot. True headshot.
Tripwire's really communicative. It's so...
We'll talk to the other guys. Maybe they will.
It's so pretty, man. It's a good-looking game.
Chivalry.
Bro. Okay, so I have to say, obviously there was a beta or something that came out the other day, because I was watching Carnage play it, Jacob, and in playing it, he was like, they do this like battle cry in the beginning where they do like a speech, they're like, they slept with our wives, they took our homes, let's give them, and then as he's yelling, right, he just, for whatever reason, I guess it was a glitch, I guess the character model died and he just collapsed in the middle of his speech. It was hilarious. I wish I had the clip for you guys.
That's really funny.
But like,
this is gonna be so much fun, Alex. I can't believe it comes out today. I forgot that it was even on its way. It snuck up on me.
Oh my
really
god,
did.
today's the 8th. Wow.
Yeah, it's out today. Give him head.
Like,
yeah.
oh my god, dude. It looks brutal. 8% Bethesda by bug volume. I like that guy like kicks him off without an arm. Like, see, the combat in this makes it difficult for me. Like, where you have to like click and drag down to swing your sword.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, well, like I'm not in love with it, but I definitely suck at it.
It's just such a funny game.
It is.
So
It is a derp fest, dude.
I can't wait too, because the problem with Chivalry for a while is that the community was just it was dwindling.
Yeah.
So when you get into this game, everyone's gonna be there. Oh, I love when you get two bards too, just drumming out, just playing their horns, and they have a bar fight, and people start to like crowd around them just to watch. This game has so much potential for funny moments.
Speaking of story mode, I really like the story mode in the first one.
I did too. I really did too.
Isn't it like you conquer lands or something? It's been years since I've seen it, but
yeah, it was cool. I'm pretty sure if I remember right. Let me look it up real quick just to see what it was. It's focus hack and slash. Yeah. You just like conquer lands and stuff.
It's cool, man. I'm very excited for it. So today, anybody know how much it is? Is it a full 60? I can't remember it being a full 60.
I'll look it up. Chivalry 2 price. 40.
40.
Not half bad.
That's a purchase and a half, guys.
That's a good game.
So, not just that, but we got another trailer coming out. This one is of the likes of an MMO.
A little bit more relaxed.
A little bit more relaxed, but I think the concept here is really, really cool, Jacob. I'm waiting for this ad to finish, and then we'll jump right into the trailer itself. We'll watch the full thing, and then we'll touch on it. It's a perfect price point, I think. It is a perfect price point. So, guys, this is pre-alpha footage captured in engine, also known as Palia. Here we go.
Ah, yes. The community sim MMO. Build a house. Befriend villagers. Experience an evolving narrative.
The narrator sounds like Jacob.
People say this looks like Knockout City. To that I have to say, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna knock you out.
It's Palia. Look, Knockout City has enough goats.
You know what
Sure.
the coolest part about
We
this?
might look like Knockout City characters. But still, this looks like it could be a pretty relaxing game to play.
Dude. So right off the bat, we got open worldness. We got a town. We got a town, okay. We got our main character. We got a bar, a saloon.
Yep, so this looks very MMO-like. This looks like the hub center where you get quests. I do like it. There's like cutscenes like this. Like they have a lot of cute things like this. However, Alex, when we get to the gameplay in a bit, it has this weird issue where
So you're mining, you're farming, you're chopping
The
trees
farming
down,
looks
you're
a
growing you're growing your farm, making
Yeah.
goods for your house, like furnishing your house.
Yeah, I do say relaxing, but economics is a 24/7 grind for these types of games.
But see, to me, like this would just be like every other game, like oh cool, 3D, Stardew Valley. But this is an MMO, and that's what really gets me here, bro. It's an
See,
MMO.
That's what puts me off. I think for that reason, I'm not gonna get this at all.
What?
Yeah.
That's
there's
what
no
puts
way.
you off?
Yeah, there's just I don't see me running through this game at all. Like it looks like there's gonna be too much content where I'll just get bored too fast because I'll get FOMO of not knowing what I want to play, and I'll try to look at like whatever builds there are. It doesn't look like there's combat either. So if this is just all completely like farming based type of game,
I mean,
then why wouldn't I just play Stardew?
I can get that. I get that. But
what?
how many players
What
are you limited to
trying
in
to say?
Stardew? How many players are you limited to in Stardew?
What do you mean, like the amount you can play or play with?
The amount of people you can play with.
I believe it's 4 on the Switch. There might be more, or it's 8.
That's a shame. Doesn't sound
4 or
very
8.
massive to me.
Yeah, but you know what's nice about playing with Stardew? You're usually kind of close to the person, and you're talking to him the whole time. Whereas if you play in an MMO, it's kind of like a fictitious illusion that you're playing with a bunch of people, because everyone's doing their own thing.
I am curious how, like, if there is going to be combat in any way. Is there going to be combat in any way? What's up, Creep?
That's where I don't know.
If there's
I
combat,
just need
I
to know
think this
more.
game will spike my interest. Like right now, like I get the farming simulator-esque stuff. Like that isn't what gets me about this. What gets me is the fact that it's an MMO, the fact that it's like a, you know, like a Stardew Valley-esque type of thing. And then you can and like you can go into the wild with your friends, but I hope that there's some sort of, I would imagine there's going to be some sort of combat. This game would fail miserably if there's no like dungeons that you can crawl through and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Like, how does this compete with Valheim? Robots? One robot? Like what's the difference here? I just can't figure it out. And I know I'm being really cynical about it because the game does look really pretty. It looks exciting, but the more I'm looking at it, I'm just thinking, if you're gonna advertise it as a relaxing experience, I'll have you know, I've never relaxed a day in my life. I'm constantly on edge, and if you're gonna send me this game, the fact that I have to relax is what's gonna drive me nuts. If you're sitting me down saying just relax,
Jacob,
smell the flowers,
Jacob,
I'm gonna be smelling the flowers going,
Jacob,
then what?
Jacob,
What next?
Jacob,
What do you want me to do in this game?
Jacob, tell me
you
something.
Want me to submit to go
How?
You're running away from me!
How the F?
Get these go
How the F do you like Animal Crossing, but not something like this? Animal Crossing is the most boring game on the face of the planet.
You get fish, you get bobcats. Here, what you make tea? Oh boy. Okay, guys, mom, check it out. I'm drinking tea.
How the fudge, Jacob, are you gonna not compare this directly to Animal Crossing?
Palia bottom tier. Said it. There. I said it.
Animal Crossing, more like animal droppings, bro.
Yeah, you say that, but you haven't seen my village, so whatever.
Your village that you do chores for, right? Just like this game, Jacob?
No,
just like
in
this game?
I
Oh.
guarantee you they do it for you.
There's no
because it's supposed to be relaxing.
There-
You get there, they go, hey, we just finished all your chores. All your crops are watered. Just sit down, relax, drink some tea. Just drink some tea. And I'll have you know, Alex, that's not relaxing to me.
Yeah?
'Cause then
Paying
everyone's
back
the worst part
loans
for
isn't
me.
relaxing to you?
Well, then at least I have this satisfactory feeling that I've accomplished something.
Oh, really? Not just having a bigger house?
Hand it to me. And overall, the game looks awesome. I get 180. Yeah, the game's cool. I like it. Jacob, have you heard of RP? Of course I have.
Jacob's
I'm
the
just
king of
fucking
RP.
around. I'm just going off because honestly, the game's probably gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. I'm being an asshole. I'm just
Speaking of being an asshole,
refresh.
refresh your camera there, asshole.
No, I love technology. Speaking of technology, talk to me about Cyberpunk 77, Alex.
Okay.
What's this roadmap looking like?
Cyberpunk 2077. People hate the roadmap, chat. They don't like the roadmap. In fact, they've made it a joke at this point. We've got a new roadmap here that I'm going to make large and show you. Nice new transitions. So our commitment to make Cyberpunk 2077 a long-term process. Long-term success. So 2021, you got the patches. Patch 1.2, hotfix. And then you got 2022. Multiple patches and updates. Really? Really?
2022. We will be working.
Literally, that's what this says. In 2022, we will continue supporting the game. No shit!
It looks like someone made, like, they spent a lot of time in this graphic and then sent it over to, like, the marketing team or to the dev team, and they're just like,
They don't know what they're going to do. That's what the answer is. They don't know. At this point, Cyberpunk 2077's roadmaps are a running joke given the complete lack of information or useful timelines on them. They list past patches and hotfixes, but now everything else that's supposed to happen this year, free DLC, PS5, Xbox Series X next gen release, are lumping into one giant section along with multiple patches and updates that goes from now until the end of the year. Well, no shit. You're going to continue working on the game. Dude, I mean, I'm glad I finished and beat the game when I did, because I would not want to dive back into it.
I know. And the problem is, right now it's in a weird No Man's
That's a
Sky
dirt lie.
area.
I would totally dive back into this game.
I was about to say, the story's still cool, no matter what you say. It's just the game is it's much more playable than it used to be. However, that's such a long conversation. I'm not gonna even dive into that.
Yeah.
It's in a weird No Man's Sky territory where they're doing what they can to fix it, but the difference is they're not a small team like No Man's Sky where they can get away with being like, hey, we're doing our best right now. Like, these are like AAA title makers. And
Yeah.
people are like, hey, what are you gonna do? They're like, we're gonna keep updating the game. And everyone's sitting there with like a microphone like, how are we gonna update it? And the guy's like, we'll do our best.
This should be a lesson to everyone, guys. I
You're
think
gonna do your best this time?
what did they do? They earned like 65% less than their projected earnings for this game. I say good. Why good? Because their company was run by a bunch of scoundrels. Don't release a game that's not ready. And every company should learn from them. Cyberpunk needs to learn from what they did.
I do wonder too, like, this game went through so many different hands, I guarantee you, that the project manager, I really should have done more research before I started saying this, but I guarantee you they were pulling their hair out just because the amount of every small bug, when you fix one, there's plenty more.
Right.
And now the issue is, like, people want DLC, they want new content, which they have the story for. They have it written. They've talked about it, like, oh, we have a lot of ideas. I'm sure they have cool content they want to do, but there's this big fear that if we release this DLC and we make it that you have to pay for it, everyone's already gonna shit on us because it's like, oh, really, you're gonna charge for that? Just like you charged for your game that wasn't working.
Yep.
And then 2, the second anyone plays it and there's even one glitch, that's going viral immediately because everyone loves to shit on this game, and that's the cruel reality. Because the game was not finished. It was an enjoyable experience, but by no means, with the amount of time that they had, was it finished.
Nope.
And hey, just because it wasn't finished in 10 years, that's not the issue. The issue is that they cracked and released it early. God, every time we talk about Cyberpunk, it goes back to this whole long discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And chat, you get the main point of what I'm trying to say. That if you're working on something and it's a passion project, do not sacrifice your passion for a paycheck or to please others, because at that point, the passion is going to fizzle
Listen
out.
to this man, chat. Listen to this man.
That's my wise words of the day. That's what I gotta say.
You know, Cyberpunk 2077 was one of the first few games that you could play on an Xbox Series X and PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of the games really have that many exclusives out. You know, I know PlayStation has their exclusives, but the PlayStation 5, in terms of exclusives that were solely released for the PlayStation 5, it was just like Returnal. Miles Morales wasn't exclusive to PlayStation 5. Xbox Series X, I mean, it wasn't necessarily an exclusive to Xbox Series X either. But
no, in fact,
one of the greatest games, dude, I enjoyed the medium so much. And it's just so interesting because now, you know, you hear Microsoft saying like, oh yeah, well, we bought Bethesda. Bethesda games are going to be exclusive to Xbox.
What if I told you they weren't? Psych!
What?
Oh, I said, what if I told you they weren't? And then I said psych as a joke.
Oh,
but I
well,
actually just interrupted
that was a
you.
double negative, so now I'm just confused.
Yeah. This is a good bit.
So the Medium, if you guys haven't played the Medium, play the Medium. It's fantastic. I believe it's still on Game Pass. It's like a thriller. We did a review for it, and it was great. But the Medium's coming to PS5. This is one of the few exclusives that Xbox Series X had, and is now coming to the PlayStation 5. So I'm a little curious why this happened, how this happened. You know, I'm curious what's going on here.
Yeah, it's overall just kind of odd. It's weird that it's going to the PS5. More so too, I was getting fired up about this, and then I paused because a game not being exclusive isn't really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Having it available on more platforms is a good idea, but when you look at like Xbox, it's just sharing the library of the PS5, which whenever people make that argument, once you get to the point of like, oh, well, there's more games on PS5 than Xbox, as well as like there's more coming out for this and that, you get into this weird rabbit hole of an argument. You
know what's interesting here? It's almost like Microsoft's being the bigger person in the picture and saying like, nah, we want everybody to be able to play our games. We want everyone to be able to play them. Meanwhile, PlayStation 5's like, haha, loser. We're going to continue charging $70 per game for our games, and we're not going to let you have any of them.
They upcharged the game, too. I mean, like, did they? Medium cost. How much was the medium? Was it $40 when it came out?
$40? It was on Game Pass. It was $1.
So it's $50. It's $50 if you didn't buy, if you didn't have Game Pass. You
but
think they're
now
gonna drive
it's
that up?
$70 on PS5. Chat.
Boom. Game Pass is OP. Honestly,
Game Pass is great.
PlayStation can't compete with it yet.
Nope.
They still can't.
Nope.
Especially because the games that they would want to give away are all the $70 titles that they're like, well, it'd be nice if you just bought them instead of did PlayStation Plus, because we're not putting those there. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, dude.
Nope.
So, anyway.
So
nothing
it
surprising
just goes
there.
this idea too, Alex, of just exclusivity.
Yeah.
Yes, words. But it's just making me think too of another cool thing, and that's level editors. Something that fans.
Chat, how do we feel about level
for.
editors? How do we feel? And that's one thing Far Cry has always been amazing at, and it's one of my favorite features in Far Cry games, is the level editor. Somebody Jacob, I'll let you lead this discussion. But somebody remade.
Someone remade GoldenEye 007 from the ground up in Far Cry 5, which is really cool. It's awesome. You can play it, and it runs pretty damn well, like pretty well. It just kind of shows too, like, this guy had so much creativity. He was willing to do this, and recently, after making this, he talked to one of the devs and said, "Hey, like, are you gonna have a level editor in Far Cry 6?" And the response was, "No, we won't," which is crazy to me. I don't know what the reason for this is, if it comes with the idea that, hey, we don't want anyone to be able to hack into the game or make their own modes. We want this to be strictly a campaign experience, but it's a little bit upsetting because we won't get to see cool things like this come out of the blue. Especially when we look at games like Super Mario Maker, where the whole game is a level maker. The whole idea, the whole business plan is that everyone makes games for each other.
Yep.
Obviously, that's not the case with Far Cry, but when you see like gems like this, you can't help but sit here wondering, like, how hard would it have been to really keep that in there?
Dude,
and
this
it makes
looks...
another idea. It looks great.
This looks just like the original with upgraded textures. Can you believe that? Like, this is the extent of what the level editors can do. Far Cry's level editors are insane. They're always so good and so cool.
They're top notch.
They really are, man. And I mean, bro, this just... It really does upset me that Far Cry 6 isn't going to have one. And I don't know why.
It's just, it's odd. Because I think a lot of what everyone's doing right now is, because of COVID, because of everything, they have these titles that they've been polishing up, but as we get closer to it, once they get to talk more to the fans, they're like, well, are you going to get this and this? It's like, well, we just made sure everything was polished with what we had. I mean, at least we hope we made it polished. So unfortunately, no. However, I will say, down the line, it's very possible they could add a level editor. It's been done before.
I wonder if they're going to after seeing this. After seeing this, oh man, my Slack notification, my Discord notifications are going off. After seeing this, I do hope that they come up with that. They're like, you know what, let's add it, or maybe they'll add it in an update or something. You know what I mean? Like, I had turned streamer mode on. I mean, this just looks amazing. It looks so cool. Like, I am blown away by how, like, I'm just getting nostalgia.
I want to I know we wrote Fallout 6. I meant to say Far Cry. This is my fault. This is Far Cry.
Jacob.
Not Fallout. I'm pretty sure we've been talking and just saying it wrong. It is Far Cry.
Yeah, let's just turn that off.
That was my mistake, everyone. I typed it in incorrectly.
Okay.
I was just DM'd and told that I am just an idiot. So I apologize.
Jacob.
But yes, Far Cry is awesome. I hope they get a level editor.
Yeah. You know, Fallout 6, that'd be cool. It's so good they skip 5 and just go right into 6.
Yep, peace. We're just skipping. I know people normally skip from like 8 to 10, but nah. I'm gonna skip 5 and go to 6.
Anyway.
Any hoot.
Any hoot. Speaking of hoots, was that it? That's it.
Oh,
we got one more story. We got one more story, chat. And Jacob, why don't you go into this one?
So,
unless you decided to put PlayStation 6 instead of Nintendo Switch Pro.
Guys, you want to see the new PS9? My dad got it. He works at Sony.
So, chat. Nintendo Switch Pro. I'm sure you guys have all seen in the news that there's been leaks online, all that crap. But for this specifically, somebody said there was going to be pre-orders on the 4th. I don't think that happened. Now people are saying that pre-orders are going to open today. Do you guys think it's going to happen?
No.
We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier in the show, Jacob. We're like, what are the upgrades that are going to happen? But I'm just trying to like read here what if there's any rumors here that say like, hey, these are the specs, but like nobody knows the specs.
I feel like everyone's trying to just predict a day, because if you just keep predicting a day, eventually you'll be right.
Yeah.
And then that's the article that they'll show everyone. Like, yeah, I knew it was coming the whole time. What can I say? I just had a gut instinct. I know Nintendo, and Nintendo knows me. So what can I say? I didn't get the Switch Pro yet, but still, Look, it's out because of me. I knew it. And I told you guys to pre-order it that day, so if you didn't take my advice, that's on you, bro.
The Nintendo
It's on
Switch
you.
2 is going to come out before I get the Nintendo Switch Pro because of the semiconductor shortage and how it's impossible to get consoles anymore.
Yeah, that got sad and dark.
It's the truth. It's a sad reality. Jacob,
We just start crying.
this is our shortest show in months.
I think it is the shortest one we have ever had.
Like, are we losing our touch?
Yes.
I did want to say something, chat. If you guys have been listening in through podcasts on whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, whatever, make sure you guys comment and review. Leave a little nice 5-star rating on the. We want to boost the podcast audio platform for sure. So go ahead and leave us a little comment and be like, yo, these guys are the coolest.
Please do.
Please do.
Please do, everyone.
But yeah, guys, that was pretty much our show. Thursday's going to be a big one because we're pretty much gathering all of our thoughts, what we're looking forward to at E3 from all the developers. Jacob, we do need to go through a list, but we want you guys to talk about it too. Like, what do you guys want to see at E3? What games are you most anticipating? And then maybe like a little bingo card for E3. That'd be kind of cool if we develop some bingo cards, Jacob.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You know? So.
Sure. I think E3 is going to be sweet, just like Mike and Ike. The tastiest candy in the whole world. Did you know they have sour flavors, Alex?
Dude, the sour flavors are the best flavors. I'm still
They
waiting
do.
on my coffee flavor.
We'll get one soon, because that Mega Mix is going to go to the moon and back.
To the moon and back.
Thank you guys so much for watching, though.
Chat.
We are Loading Screen. We are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. And we also occasionally do Let's Plays on Fridays and Wednesdays. We'll let you know. Tomorrow, most likely not, because unfortunately we're on a shoot. For Friday, we will see you for a nice, fun Let's Play, most likely with It Takes Two or Chivalry. We'll let you know once we find out. My name is Jacob. This is Alex. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on Thursday.
11 a.m. Thursdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. right here on twitch.tv. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube or, on our podcast reviews.
Catch him. Poggers!